Today is Friday, June 23rd, 2017. I am Jeffrey Jansen, and this is Motivation Friday. We're getting ready to let's go live. Hey everybody, I am Jeffrey W. Jansen, and this is Friday, June 23rd, 2017, and this is just a little bit of motivational talk, a little bit of ideas on how you can do more with whatever you're trying to do. The first thing that we're just going to get out right now, in life, if you do nothing, you get nothing. That's what we're going to start with right now, because I see so many people out there that are always talking a great game. They're talking how they want to do this and that and but the second something happens to them, they just stop cold in their tracks and they do nothing. They don't even bother trying to get a person's name. They don't even bother trying to write down their ideas on a piece of paper or picking up a book to figure out how to do something. So, in other words, in your life, no matter what it is, you need to start with this. If you do nothing, you get nothing. Why do you need to start there? Because you got to understand that if all you are is a bunch of hot air and all you're going to do is do talking and not do anything about it, then guess what? You're not going to get anything out of it. Now, each one of you matters, which means if you go out there and you understand the concept of the word no, and you understand the concept of the word yes, or you understand that you actually have to do work in order to get ahead in life, now you're on the first track to success, okay? The first thing you got to understand is if you want to do something, you got to write it down. You got to write down your ideas. You got to write down a list of people. You have to write down what your thoughts are. And I'm not talking about a journal or a notebook. I'm talking about get out a dang piece of paper, write down what you want to do, number it if you have to, do whatever it takes that you have to basically get out the word what you need to get done, okay? Because that's the first mission. Once you write it down, now you have to do it. And if you don't do it, that piece of paper is going to bug you until you actually do it. Write a list of people, write a list of jobs, write a list of places you want to go. Now, next thing you want to do, how are you going to overcome your mission? How are you going to overcome what you have to do? How are you going to get to the objective that you're going to, okay? So you got to overcome your objective. So basically, think of military standards. Once you got it all written down, now you got to practice it. You got to basically know what you're going to do next. You got to know where you're going to go next. You can't just drop in and be like, I'll figure it out when I get there. You have to know an idea of what you're going to be doing when you execute the mission. So, you basically wrote everything down. Now you got to make a call. Now you got to get ready. Now you got to dress for success. Now you got to read the book. What book do you have to read? What ideas do you have to come up with in order to get that promotion? What are your next ideas in life in order to get the pay raise, find the leadership? If you want to go out there and you want to build a business, you have to actually have a blueprint, okay? So now that you got everything written down, now it's time for execution phase. You start with number one. Number one, I have to dress for success. Great, you are now dressed for success. 2, I have to brush my teeth. 3, I have to eat my breakfast. 4, I have to go and I have to figure out what the business is, and I got to do research on the business that I want to talk to, I want to do business with, I want to protect, I want to save, I got to talk to the lawyers I want to talk with, I got to figure out who's who. I can't just randomly select somebody, because if you do something randomly, you're going to get exactly what you pay for, okay? So now you're out there, you're motivated. Okay, now you're going to run a marathon. Do you know the length of the marathon? Are you going to run a half a marathon? Are you going to run the full marathon? Are you going to do the 26 miles? How many curves are in that marathon? How many times are you going to have to overcome some obstacles in that marathon? Why am I saying all this? A lot of you are looking at it like, man, he already shut me off because he makes no sense right now. Actually, I'm making all the sense in the world. Here's why. You start the marathon. You start at the starting line. There's a finish line. The biggest struggle is what's going to come in between. And if you're not prepared for the middle, or at least have an idea, or know how to overcome certain objectives, you're not going to make it to the finish line. Because at one point in time, in the middle of the race, in the middle of everything you're doing, you're not going to see the finish line, and you're not going to see the starting line. That's when more people give up than anywhere else. They're in the middle of the desert, and they just give up. They just lay down, I'm dead, I'm done. Why do they do that? Because they give up on themselves. This is the time where there's not going to be anybody telling you what to do. There's not going to be anybody leading you along. You're going to have nobody rooting for you. You're not going to have anybody there. If you ever notice, the people that are cheering for you, they're at the beginning and they're at the end. They're not in between. Why? Because the people in between, they know that's when you give up the most. So now you are executing your plan of attack. You're going after the job. You're going after the promotion. You're getting motivated. You're getting loud. You're getting excited. You need to learn to get yourself excited. And for all you perverts out there, that's enough. You need to learn that you need to execute at will what you want to do. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to put your jeans on for you. Nobody else is going to brush your teeth for you. Nobody else is going to eat for you. Nobody else is going to go work out for you. Nobody else is going to go do the sales and give you the credit. Nobody else is going to go get the promotion and then turn it over to you. Why? Because they're doing it when you're not able to. They're looking at you as, haha, you won't do it, I'm going to go do it. You're already being taken as a joke. Why? Because if every single time you get into something and you quit, that's exactly how people see you. They see you as a quitter. They know that they're going to pass you up. So what you got to do is you got to keep going even when they're not. So think about that. In your mind, these people know you're going to quit. So don't quit. Do it just out of sheer spite for the fact that these people are going after the same job as you are, the same position as you are. They're going after the same sale as you are. They're going after the same degree, the same education. You know, we like to, as Marines, we like to joke around saying we're the best of the best. But how many Marines are out there? Which means we're all competing. How many of the Army are out there? They're all competing. We're all competing to be the best. We're all competing to do one step above everybody else. But how do you do that? You get in your mind that you're not going to quit. You get in your mind that you're going to make it to the finish line. You know what? When you all reach the finish line, you cross it, whether it's you or everybody together, you'd be surprised how you're all patting each other on the back. A lot of us, we go back and start running with the people that are running because we got a little extra energy. We know that they need a little extra help. But guess what? I can't run all the way back to the beginning to help somebody. I can run more maybe to the middle, maybe to the end. The beginning and the edge, you got people to help you. It's the middle that you need the most help with. So go out there. Now, things like I like to do is I carry around books with me. I actually read. Now today, when I get done with this, we're going to go back to reading. And I'm going to finish up. Somebody told me I forgot to finish up the Motivation Manifesto, which I will read today. And it's in here somewhere. One of my books. You know, I also keep quote books with me, like Treasury by Jim Rohn. You know what? You can't get any better than Jim Rohn. If you don't know who Jim Rohn is, and you're like, oh, whatever, whoever he is, you got to understand that he's probably the guy you need to be listening to. Okay? Now, today's book, we're going to read the next chapter of the Motivation Manifesto, which we'll do. However, when you get out there today, you got to be focused. You got to be energized. Do not lie, cheat, steal, or exaggerate to anybody. That's crap if you want to do that. If you want to get ahead by lying to somebody, understand this. They're going to kick you flat on your face. Now, that's metaphorically, not actually. The reason why is because if you lie to anybody, you cheat anybody, you steal from somebody, if you purposely take advantage of somebody, I guarantee you're going to get yours in the end, because when somebody does it to you, you have nothing to complain about because you did it to somebody else. Now, if you don't do that and you get ahead by helping enough other people, sure, not everybody's going to be grateful, but at least you did it and you know you did it. So if somebody tries to kick you when you're down, the people that know that you took care of them, they're not going to kick you. So if you're going out there for the sale, if you're going out there to join the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Air Force, whatever it is you're going to do, don't be afraid of people. Don't be afraid to talk with people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to live outside your box. Because one thing I've noticed in society, everybody lives inside their box. Everybody always tells me every day, oh, you can't. You know, I've already done it. I've already been on top of the mountain, I've been below the mountain. I've been buried and I've come back to life many times. Why? Because I didn't listen to the people that were naysayers. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, nope, nobody's ever done it. Oh, you can't open that. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're not wealthy, Jeff. Sorry, you're not on top of the world. Oh, you're not in the politics, Jeff. And you know what's funny is, when I get on top, they're all looking at me like, oh, well, how'd you do that? Oh, I did it because I didn't listen to you, negative butt. Don't listen to the negative people out there. Get away from your negative friends. Get away from the naysayers. You want to get a little inspiration, know this. You're as good as your self-worth. which means when you go out there every day and you push, you're going to have people saying you can't do it. Why? Because they don't want to do it. It's not that they can't do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want you to do it, because if you do it, that means, oh man, I could have done it. I'm just going to sit back and talk trash on everybody. I'm going to sit back and be negative on everybody. I'm going to sit back and lie, cheat, and steal my way to the top. And you want to know something? They never make it to the top. You know why? Because they have never gotten off their butt to get up to go do something. You, however, have an advantage. You're a parent, you're an uncle, an aunt, a cousin, whatever you are. Even if it's just a person out there by yourself. You have an advantage nobody else has. You don't listen to the naysayers. You don't listen to the drama queens. You don't listen to all those people that are putting curse words on Facebook and talking how boyfriends and girlfriends did this and he's screwing her over and that person's cheating on that person. Who cares? You know what? The only person that matters to is nobody. I'm going to tell you right now, it matters to nobody. All you naysayers and negative people out there, I love you guys to death. You know why? Because I'm going to walk all over you every single time. I'm going to get the jobs. I'm going to get the sales. I'm going to get ahead. And while you're down there being negative to everybody, I'm going to keep reaching my hand out to try to lift you up. I'm just not going to listen to you. And then when I pull you up, I'm going to tell you, look, if you want to be part of team whatever we are, get rid of the negativity. Get away from those friends that are pulling you down. Because your friends will keep you down. Why? Because you're giving them a platform to pull you down too. So instead, create your own platform that you pull yourself up to. Get to the top of the mountain. Once you get to the top, go back down and start pulling the people up that want to get up. Help as many people as you can and you'll get what you want. Because the top is really lonely if you don't help anybody. And if you get out there, get up to the top without helping anybody, it doesn't feel like you're on top. It just feels like you're up on top of a mountain with no air. But you help people get to the top and they'll help you. Today's motivation is this. Get away from the naysayers. Get away from those people that are holding you down, the friends that are belittling you, the friends that treat you like crap, the ones that don't believe in your success, because if you have success, that means you're going to leave them in the dirt. Leave them in the dirt. That's where they deserve to be. Why do they deserve to be in the dirt? Because you have to work it for yourself. You have to get up, you have to get motivated, you have to get going. If you have people that are trying to tell you how to do things, they themselves never did it, to do as I say, not as I do people, you need to quit listening to. Follow those people that have been there, done that. You know, if I could follow people that have been, that failed so many times in life, I'd love to follow those people so I knew what not to do. And you know what? Guess what? They keep going, which means eventually they're successful. Why? Because they don't let a failure hold them back or hold them down. I would love to follow all these entrepreneurs out there and just document their lives, because as I'm following them and as they fall and trip and they fail and they go broke and they're rich and they go broke and they're rich, I can start taking notes on what not to do, what to do, and I can see their true motivation, their true passion is not cutting anybody down, but getting to the top, doing it for the right reason, for the right matter, offering something nobody else offers, doing something that nobody else does. And those people that are so busy cutting people down never win. I have watched lawyers in court before that have never cut anybody down. They tell you the facts, and that's all they go off of, and they win almost every single time. Then you see the prosecutor going up against them. Oh, who cares? That's not the case. You're just trying to dilute the jury pool, and it doesn't work. You know why? Because people that are true good people, they're going to listen to the facts, not how you're slandering somebody. In fact, there's so many lawyers out there I can't freaking stand because they don't have the facts. They just think by belittling people, and they feel so great about themselves. Good. You don't need to be a lawyer. That's the reason why you only charge $25 an hour or something. The lawyers that are out there that are always uplifting people, they're about $1,500 an hour. How about those businesses out there, those factory workers, when you got those foremen that are actually getting on the line with you, that are working it on the line with you? My God, we want to follow those every single day. Why? Because they're out there doing it. They're not afraid to be on that line, to be pushing the limits, because they know that if they do it, then you'll do it. They also know that if you don't do it and they're doing it and you're being lazy, they got to let you go. It's easier to fire you. Why? Because why would I let anybody working with me, for me, or with my business if you're not working it and you're too busy trying to tell everybody else how to do things, yet you yourself are not willing to do it? You know why Marines and the Army are leaders? Because they actually have trained each other how to be leaders. They go in when nobody else wants to. They may complain. I'll be the first to admit it. I complain about everything. But they'll go in. They'll execute their mission. They'll get the job done. They'll run their races. They will run their marathons. They will go into a country that nobody else wants to go to. They will do their mission, and then they'll come back. But here's just it. The leader goes in first. A leader has already done it and is not afraid to do it. A leader will take you by the hand and pull you through it when you don't think you can get through it. A leader leads from the front, never the back. And if you can't get through it, then you're not going to be a leader. You just, look, I didn't say how you had to get through it. I just said you had to get through it. And sometimes we think we got to hit the lottery in order to win. No. You know, sometimes you just have to do your job. Sometimes you just have to read the book. Sometimes, in order to finish the marathon, you're going to have to low crawl on the ground just to get across the freaking finish line. But the whole point is you need to finish. It's not about what place you come in or how much money you make or who you know. It's about finishing. It's about doing the objective. It's about overcoming all obstacles and doing what you say you're going to do. That's what's important. Now, I got to get reading the Motivational Manifesto, so I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to go into reading the... hold on.